Hello, and welcome to this week's Terraforming Mars Guild Challenge, where you are competing for $50 in this competition. This week's challenge is interesting. I think it's a lot more fun than last week's, in that you start with Inventrix, and you get to pick a starting hand of up to 13 cards, and because of the modding constraints, you also will get 3 cards for free, which I have already done, and you sell them immediately. So you'll have $6 less than the potential perfect start, as it were. For me, I've decided to build a deck of 9 cards, as you can see here, and I go into more about how I built it and what I chose in a video I posted this morning. So if you're interested in the strategy behind how we got to this deck of cards, check it out. I thought it was a really fun video. A couple people really enjoyed it, so what do you know? So let me tell you the rules. The rules are you have to cheat every single card out. And what I mean by that is every card you play needs to have a requirement of some kind other than special design and adaptive technology. And they all must be played before the requirement is met or beyond the maximum requirement that they can be played for. Okay? So that's a pretty low subset of cards. Plus, you can't draft any cards once you've begun. So you have to start with the starting 9. Our big plan is to pass for the first round, because we just don't have enough money after buying 9 cards. And then have to cheat things out. Inventrix already starts with a plus or minus 2. So by buying adaptive technology, we now have plus or minus 4. And then, right, oh, look at all these things we can buy. But if we play special design, then turn 1 we have kelp farming. And I honestly think that the 2 ME production from kelp farming, like, that's gonna add up. Right? We have 12 more productions. I think there's 13 total. So that 12 times 2 is 26 bucks. Like, not to mention it's gonna get us most of the plants that we're gonna have. And as we all know, greeneries are the most expensive form of TR. Now, this is what I was really debating on for a while, is whether to get lichen and moss and stuff, or instead go for GHG producing bacteria. The biggest problem with this run, or as I see as the issue to winning, is that there's a lot of plant producing cards, whether it's through temperature or oceans. I kind of opted into the ocean strat. But there's very few ways to put heat up, and then you're going to need tons of money for oceans. And if you're going to make much rebate money, you're going to need to have oceans down to scoop stuff up. Thankfully, with this seed, which was completely random, but I was still happy to see it, the neutral greeneries and cities are out of our way, so we can easily access all of this adjacency to ocean, which will give us money back. And then, cannot forget to do this click. If I forget to do this click, you gotta smash that in the comments. You idiot. What were you thinking? You bought that card and then you didn't use it. How dumb could you be? So, I'm not sure what the rush is between... Like, I think I want to get the plant-producing cards down now. I can get like cloud seeding and moss and stuff. But symbiotic fungus requires minus 14, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do it at 22, which means we need 4 heat bumps. And honestly, heat bumps are going to kill us, so I really feel like we've got to rush this as fast as possible. First, let's go for our bed of greens that don't have ocean adjacencies. We'll lose a little bit of income for cloud seeding. And then with moss, we are now up to 1 greenery per turn for the next, 10 production, so 10 greeneries. So we still need 3, which we can mostly scoop from the board, but lichen should get us there the rest of the way. This is the click I did not forget to do, thankfully. I'm going to be so... I'm going to miss it once. Someone's going to post a comment, and they're just going to timestamp the 4 different generations where I missed the click. In fact, I'm going to do it at the start of this one. Bam. So we could technically fail to play Lichen if we passed 24 degrees. Oh my god, my applications are up. That's lame. I've turned those off in the past, and then I've struggled, apparently, to have them stay off. Oh, floating 12 bucks in this generation really sucks. But I think it was required. I feel like Lycan was a good enough card to get early, but, you know, the more I think about that now, the more I'm like, well, would it have been better to have it be algae, for instance, which is 2 plant income and a plant right away, but requires 5 oceans? Because, realistically, I need to buy an ocean right now. Now I get these 2 plants. I can put this here and get 2 bucks back. And that gives me enough to do an asteroid. And then I don't have enough for this yet. Okay. I also have to figure out the breakpoint. Well, not really. Trying to figure out the breakpoint for when I need to put symbiotic fungus down, because there is going to be a point where it won't give you an additional greenery if you play it on this round or not. Minus 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 2 bumps. So what that means to me is next generation we'll have enough to do a bump with our microbes, and we'll have enough to buy a heat bump instead of needing to buy 2 heat bumps, for instance, and that will that'll be a thing. I actually haven't even given value to the fact that there's extra heat productions if I can just get up that friggin' heat track a little bit quicker. It's kind of too bad. Look at all these great cards floating by. So I definitely need to do an asteroid. I could do an ocean. I can do an ocean. I need to get more money back, but if I put the ocean here, that'll give me enough plants to get 2 greeneries. And I don't want to do this spot yet, because that would waste an adjacency. And you know me, it's all about efficiency. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to come over one more step here. Oh, now we have plenty of money. We had way more money than I thought. So this gives us the second heat bump, to which we look at this. We can play this well ahead of time, because we are Inventrix. And there we go. We've played all of our synergy cards. From here on out, it's make money. We have to remember that we get that free ocean if we get up the heat track. Honestly, I feel like spamming heat is going to be our biggest... Well, maybe oceans, just because having oceans is nice. I think I'll do one more ocean. Just because the rebate is pretty delicious. And then that gives us the heat bump, everyone's happy, and then I think we're just going to spam asteroids here. We're going to get a lot of extra... I got something in my teeth. You can see me clawing at it. I really need to get some floss out. It's like a piece of broccoli. But yeah, sorry for the distraction. I feel like we're doing okay here. I'm just... think that the heat bumps are more cost effective at getting us production from having TR. We're going to scoop enough plants off the board, right? I mean, this is a really good opportunity to buy an ocean, though, because this will give us the 8th plant and money back, and then we buy the greenery, which goes here. I don't know, I didn't actually map out the amount of plants. I had a general conceptual idea of we may or may not have to buy a greenery at the end. But so far, so good. Still makes me wonder, like, Lichen was cool, but would it have been better to get, like, what is it? It's like the plants for oceans one that I cannot, for the life of me, think of right now. Plants for oceans. Arctic algae. But Arctic algae, like, we'd only really be able to play it now. We've already played most of our stuff. Like, I love Arctic algae. I think it gives you more plants than algae does. Or lichen, rather. But it's just so hard to get it out in a reasonable amount of time, when really it's the rebate from all this plant production that is keeping us in the game. In the next generation, we're going to get 2 greeneries. I didn't think we'd be able to do it with the 10 cards, but it turns out a little bit of planning. Look, there's algae. Let me do it. Let me buy algae. I mean, this is actually going way smoother than I thought it would. Not to mention, oh, there we go. Not to mention, we actually will get a heat bump, and like that's like really where the optimization would have been at, is making sure that that heat ends up on the right turns for like the breakpoints and stuff. Like, I don't know if I could have pushed a little bit harder for the heat and then given up on one plant to make sure that I was at a breakpoint for the next heat bump. I likely could have. That's why I'm talking about it. But, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. Look at this. We have done the oxygen almost completely. And then heat bump. Heat bump. We're gonna get 1 heat bump for free. And you know what? Maybe the plan should have been build like a power plant a little bit earlier and get one of those heat bumps for 11 instead of 14. I actually thought about getting a water splitting plant too. So this is cool because now we have 2 microbes on this. So that will give us the last heat bump. We have an oxygen in hand. If we get a card, we have to sell it. But I think this is the time to have the time of your life. You know, aquifer over here for completeness. And aquifer. So we have every requirement other than clicking the microbe button. And we got 20 bucks. So next turn, I think I'm going to put a city here, a city here, if we could, a city there. Like, we can get 3 cities, right? 14. So we get 2 plants. We get another greenery. We'll do that for fun. We do this bump. We have succeeded. Look at that. We have. I like that this extra neutral greenery's here. So city here. Oh. Oh. A city here for the plant. I guess that doesn't actually matter. That was a mistake, because that only has 4 adjacencies. This one has 4, but could go higher. I was going to put it here, because money back seems good. Yeah. $32 does not leave us with enough to really grind out the value of points here. And then we're gonna get 1 more bonus. I mean, I'm happy with how this went, actually. When I started looking at the you know, restrictions on this run and putting together this particular bundle of cards, I had no idea that it could end up like this. So I could have gotten, I have 5 leftover heat. Like, to me, that could be better optimized. You could pick cards that use the things that you scoop off the board. But I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. 89 points. I don't know. If you've enjoyed this, I 100% think you should look up more of the rules. If you don't know how to mod, again, I should have started off with saying this. I've done it in the other ones. If you don't know how to mod, join the Discord. I'm going to link in the doobly-doo. And yeah, check out the run. Check out the card lists and stuff. Put together your own build. You can do it on this app. You can do it on a physical copy of the game. And submit your run. Even if you don't think you're going to win, I think it's a lot of fun to just participate and compete and come up with, my strategy or your strategy or what have you. There's also, I'm pretty sure, one second as I click over. If you can manage to do it in 13 or less generations, you can get additional 2 points. So even with this run, had I not waited one generation for that last heat bump, this could have been generation 13 easily. We had $20 left over. And I was like, I'd rather build cities because I like getting a high score. So I hope you've enjoyed. I kind of rambled here at the end. But again, please check it out if you're interested. We're having a lot of fun in the little community that we're putting together. So I'll see you next time. Cheers.